you seen it in there?
I feel like this man worked very, very hard every day. I think it was very frustrating. Yeah. I just feel like this man's body kind of like was very sore from all the work. I think his body wore out. Like
wore out at 91, that's not too bad.
That's not too bad, but I'm pretty sure he had a lot of arthritis and I feel like pain in the wrists and hands, which of course somebody that old, of course you'd usually get stuff like that. But there was other, like there's the back, his back wasn't that great, and as a matter of fact his back probably had some pretty serious issues. It almost feels like, and I was feeling this around the grounds, but I feel it here in Harry's room. It feels like a sad feeling, like, you know, I didn't get this done, or spent all my life working on this and it's not done. You know, kind of like that type of sadness. And he feels almost like a little apologetic about it, or there had to have been a lot of problems building this place. I mean, you know, any construction project has unanticipated things that you have to deal with, and I'm sure this place had a lot of that, a lot. You know, I think Harvey had conversations with some entity or some thing that, you know, to him it was real, but it almost seems like it's coming out of his mind or imagination.
Do you mean Harry?
Harry did I say Harry?
You said Harvey?
I meant Harry, I'm sorry. Harry Andrews, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I think at times it almost makes me feel, this is the second time I'm feeling this. I'm feeling a baby, the death of a baby. I felt it when I was walking around the grounds, and now I'm feeling it in this room. So a baby may have, you know, been stillborn or died very young. Obviously it's a sense of loss. And it's a sense of loss and having to go on because you're really too busy to sit around and feel sorry for yourself. You just got to keep right on going. So it almost makes me feel a little like it's unresolved loss, or unhealed loss, or a sense of unhealed losses or loss.
Okay.
And because of that, there, you know, to me, I do feel like there is some entity activity in this room. To me, I do feel like there's negative energies that were messing with the people here working on this house, I mean on the castle.
Do you think that they still wander here?
Yeah, because I feel like these are the old, the spirits of the land, the spirits of the people that lived on this land or around this land. I think they toyed with the people, the living people that were here. So I would think that there'd be weird things that occurred. Like, you know, you could be a living person and you might be feeling like someone's touching you or playing with your hat or touching your ear or your hair. And then you think, it also feels like there was something here that these same spirits, when I say they toyed with the living people, they made fun of them, them fall or trip or fall in the creek, in the river, and you know, these spirits had great fun tormenting. These were males. They almost seem like bullies or like bully spirits.
How much energy do you think they possessed as far as when they messed with people? Do you think it was a lot? Or
Yeah, the reason I think it's a lot is because this isn't just one or two spirits doing this. This is like a group of them.
Okay.
So if you can imagine like a group of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know how many, 5.
Okay.
They'd make fun of you. They'd say things to try to get under your skin. They were quite disrespectful. That's kind of an uncomfortable feeling.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that maybe spent the night in here or were in here a lot, I think they would have had weird things happening to them, because these spirits, they'll make a noise and with the purpose of the living person wanting to run over and see what that was, and it was nothing. You know, so they would do little things like that to kind of almost get under your skin, and they'd be laughing at the living people. So that's makes me feel a little like I wonder who these spirits are. They seem, when I look at them, these are old pioneer type people. You know, like definitely hard-working people. Like they might be farmers, they might be hard labor, they might be digging ditches, they might be doing that kind of stuff. You know. It's a group of them, and I see one of them that seems kind of like the ringleader. He just showed me that they're buried near here. And again, that number 5 seems to be coming through. And I wonder if there is an old cemetery near here. Do you know whether there is?
I don't.
Because these people, they go back into the ground, and then they come out of the ground.
Okay.
So they might come out at night or certain hours of probably the night. And then when their time is up, they go back underground.
Okay.
I think there's I don't know if this is a cave or a cellar or it's some opening that's underground.
Okay.
I think they're in there a lot.
Okay.
The spirits I'm talking about.
Okay.
Are you talking about these are human spirits?
Yeah, these are humans.
Okay.
Yes.
I do know from what I've heard through the nights saying that in the gardens, there's, you know how when you look in the gardens, there's the arches.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know which arch it is, but one of them was the secret room. And I don't think you can go in there anymore.
It's an underground room?
It is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And I don't think it's open anymore. I think they closed it off. But under one of those arches, in like the second tier of the garden, there was a secret room.
Yeah, I really don't like what these spirits are like, the ones I've been describing here for the last few minutes, because they're bullies. They're the kind of people, you know, they're like the bullies at school. Like you saw them come in and
mess with people.
Yeah, they mess with you.
And they were probably like that in life.
Right, because they can and they enjoy it. They enjoy being kind of like bullies. Yeah, they're messing with your hair, your hat, you know, it feels like spider webs, you know, all kinds of things like that.
Did you get a spy hole?
You know, in some ways I feel as if Harry was tormented, you know. I don't know if people knew this about him. This was privately. This would be like in his mind. As I said, there seems to be like he's talking to someone or talking to something or carrying on a conversation. It's as if you're carrying on a conversation with somebody, but it's in your head. You know, I really think these bullies that I'm kind of sensing, these are kind of like some negative spirits, the ones we were talking about. They would also inappropriately touch women. Women would feel fondled or, you know, inappropriately touched, and it would be one of those things. Well, oh my God, there's no one around. Am I just imagining this? Is this really happening? Am I really experiencing this? I feel as if this somebody standing here, a woman who would be considered somewhat buxom, would have experienced that while standing here. And these bullies, not only would they have done that, they would have made you feel like you're going to fall. You know how like a bully might, you know, dangle you off this balcony. You know, you get this weird dizzy feeling. And then of course they're all laughing. You know, I wonder who these guys are, but they're not real nice. Yeah, I also, you know, this is not something that I'm really picking up on psychically, but what I do know is that sometimes these kind of entities, I've seen them around suicides. So I'm guessing, just based on previous experiences, a part of me might wonder whether there may have been a suicide associated with this location. I'm not really getting any information. I'm kind of wondering based on the poor quality of character of these people that I've been talking about. You know, I just picked up on another kind of entity here. It's it looks like a skeleton, but it's short.
Okay.
And so, what is that thing?
Does that take night shot?
Yes.
It does? Okay, because this is all dark out
Did
there.
Harry die in here?
He died on the grounds. I'm not sure exactly where.
Because obviously the skeleton represents death, so there would have been a death here.
So
I think he knew he was going to die, or had he either knew or had a premonition, or.
well, he did. He died of an accident.
Really?
Yeah. I know that. I'm not sure if he was burning leaves and accidentally caught himself on fire, or something happened and he burned to death.
Oh, how tragic!
That's how he died. And I don't know how the fire started, but that's what I know is that there was a fire and he died in the fire.
Okay.
And it was somewhere here on the grounds.
You know, I you know those bullies that I was been talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel like maybe they were teasing Harry, but they didn't intend to kill him or hurt him. I think that was a miscalculation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think they want to kill anybody. They just want to harass them.
I think it just went a little too far and they didn't mean it.
Right. But then maybe it was also his time to go. And, you know, when I tune into Harry, you know, I'm getting an image of heartache. Heartache, obviously, is an emotional term. It can be physical if you've got angina, but heartache's usually an emotional thing. I feel like somebody did something to him.
Yeah, what happened was the lady that he was seeing at the time, just before he was drafted in the war, they were supposed to get married, but he was drafted, and there was a letter that came home saying Harry had died in the war, which in fact he had not. And so the lady that he was engaged to, after she found out that he supposedly died, she married another man. And when he came home from the war and found out that she had married another man, that
he was heartbroken.
Yeah.
And he never got over it.
I don't believe so. I don't think
this would have been the type of wound to the heart.
Harry
That's
never did
very
marry.
powerful. The pain is always there.
Harry never did get married, and he never had kids.
Yeah, so that's probably what that heartache is all about, that I'm sensing in Harry. I feel that there was even a shift in the earth or something where they might have had a big crack.
Okay.
Maybe that was drainage. I'm not sure what caused it, but I really like this little room. This room makes me happy. This is probably a favorite room of kids too. I'd imagine kids would love this room because it's very small. It's very enclosed. You could stand up here and see things, or you could hide.
Yeah.
I think money was also a big issue here. I think I get the feeling that Harry must have just scraped by. Do you know if this building has a basement?
It has a dungeon.
Dungeon, yeah, because I'm sensing something down there, like a dungeon.
It does. It does have a dungeon.
Of course it would have a dungeon. Yeah, so do we get to see that today?
Yeah, yep.
I can't wait. Yeah, that sounds really, really cool. Yeah, to me, I almost feel like Harry built this place with pennies, dimes, nickels, quarters, you know what I mean? Just change, spare change.
Yeah.
The heartache motivated him to build this, but I also think there was a lot of past life memory that of being someone who lived in a castle in a past life that motivated him as well.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he could really relate to the whole castle lifestyle, you know?
Yeah.
And it's interesting, I have a feeling he loved animals or loved horses. There seemed to be a real love of animals. He probably liked kids too.
Oh, he did like kids. I do know that. The Boy Scouts would come down all the time and help.
Yeah, and that always made him happy to have kids around, and I think I'm getting an image of Santa Claus. I wonder if there might have been a Christmas party or Christmas activities, or if he was generous somehow to kids around the holidays, around Christmas.
Okay.
Or maybe there was actually a Santa Claus thing here where, you know, the kids could come and meet Santa Claus in the lovely castle, you know. And then, are there apple trees on the property or near the property? I'm sensing apples or apple trees.
You know, I'm not sure about that.
Or even an apple orchard. Okay, but I think there would have been lots of different types of things like that, like blackberries or raspberries, things to eat growing here. You know what, with Harry, I feel like he may have had a religious conflict of some sort. Like, didn't know if he believed in God, or, you know, just questioned it, you know, went through that type of, because I feel like possibly religious people came around him, but I don't think he bought into it or went there. You know, I think he had a chip on his shoulder against religion.
Do you think maybe he just had his own beliefs in what he believed in, and then that was it? Or do you...
I just feel like he had lost his faith. Let's say he was raised in a certain faith. I feel there's something happened where he lost his faith, or he just didn't want to be in that church anymore, or in those beliefs anymore.
Okay.
But I do think he was a good man and helped people. I think he liked people. And I think he had a lot of fun Was he was in Europe, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He liked Europe. There were parts of Europe that he loved.
he did.
Like he loved the girls in the beer garden, you know, like where they dance. This might be Germany, I'm not sure, but you know, lots of dancing, singing, beer drinking, good times. He would have been a good teacher too. I mean, he seems kind and patient with people.
He was a very, very smart man. Downstairs in that ballroom, it talks about him being a notary, but it also talks about his IQ, how high his IQ was.
Wow.
And I don't.
But I think he was a very proud soldier, very dedicated.
So, he was.
Wow. Yeah, he loved animals too. It makes me feel like he could possibly even make bird sounds or animal sounds. I think bird sounds. I believe this is in spirit. There's a priest around Harry a lot, and he seems to pray for Harry. And looks like a Catholic priest. I wonder if Harry was raised Catholic or. And yeah, and that, I think that priest prayed for him a lot. Not sure who he is, but he's a good man. Probably might be somebody he knew in the war. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are definitely non-human entities around here too. This area would have a very interesting history, you know. Do you know if Harry was a quiet man?
I think he was.
Quiet?
Yeah, I think he was not a recluse, but I think he was.
Wasn't a big talker.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think he ventured out a lot. I think this was his home. This was his heart, you know, and so he stayed here. But he liked it when people came down to visit and spend time with him.
You know, this is the chapel, but it doesn't have the vibe of a chapel. You know, that spiritual vibe.
Mm-hmm. I like this room.
Do you know whether anyone in Harry's biographical story that was close to him committed suicide?
Not that I know of. Like I said, there's
Like
other.
they hanged themselves, or no?
Not that I've heard. Maybe there's some stories that they don't tell.
Right,
You know,
there always are.
But I haven't heard.
There may be a lot of people that will come in here. This feels obviously very male. Male kind of room. Yeah, I think there's a nice energy in this room. Yeah, but now, did they, do you know whether did they have like a regular group of reenactment people? Or like a regular group of knights? You know, like knights of this castle that were dedicated real people who were knighted, maybe.
Well, all the knights here were knighted
Mm-hmm.
by Harry or the people who
Came after him.
correct.
So this is almost like a lineage type thing, you know? Do they think of it that way?
I believe they do.
Yeah.
I know that
And are some of those knights dead besides Harry?
some of them are.
Yeah, because I'm sensing this is wonderful male presence
There was
in here.
when Harry came back from England and decided that this was what he was going to do. I'm not sure what year he came back, But I do know that he picked 13 men to carry out his dream, if you want to call it. There was 13 of them, and I believe 2 of them are still living. The rest are gone.
Okay. Did you know any of them?
Yeah, my dad was one of them.
Okay.
And there's a gentleman, his name is...
so your dad's one of the ones that's still alive?
Yeah. And there's a gentleman, what was his name? Dave Buchan is the other gentleman.
Who's alive?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know any of the other ones? The one I'm sensing is he feels very male. He would have absolutely loved the whole thing of being a knight and the whole fantasy of it all, and would have embodied that fantasy, would have really been in that reality. And he seems very charismatic. He seems almost like an actor, like a reenactor actor.
Okay.
And he seems kind of big. You know, he seemed, his energy's almost like the king of the castle. And he may have gotten really into the reenacting.
Okay.
You know?
I don't...
You don't know who that might have been. Because he's one of the spirits in this house. There's a lord and lady of the house in spirit.
Okay.
And those spirits are here.
Well, I know the gentleman who is the seneschal or the king of the castle. His name's Joe Carey, and he came after another gentleman named Sir Joe Fry. Now his picture is down in the game room.
Is Joe Carey still alive?
He is.
Okay. Okay, so he was the, what did you say, the king?
The seneschal or the king.
Okay. Did somebody hold that position before he did?
There, yes, Sir Joe Fry.
Okay, and he's dead?
He is.
Was he a big man or a kind of like a...
You know, I didn't know him.
Stocky
I don't
man.
remember him.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say whether he was or not.
I'll tell you this. He and the lady, the king and queen, they'll be here a long time from now.
Okay.
I mean, they wouldn't care if no living human being ever set foot in here again and this turned into a dilapidated ruin. They'd be loving it, because then they'd have it all to themselves.
Okay.
He's very masculine.
Now, there was a gentleman who was one of the knights who, he did pass away, and his ashes are throughout the castle.
Really?
There's part of the castle that's built back behind the back walk. I know we probably won't go back there tonight because it's behind that locked door. And parts of the ashes that they had, they split them up into mason jars. And in part of the wall is one of those mason jars. So he is buried in the castle itself. And then, you know, we did a ceremony up on the roof and spread his ashes and let the wind take them.
I wonder if that's him. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, because that must have been his wish to be...
He did.
This was his wish to have his ashes here.
Now, I don't know what his real name is, but everybody called him Bear.
Bear, which implies a
He
larger man.
He was a big man.
I bet that's the man I'm feeling, because this guy's bear-like. He would be a larger...
Now, do you see what he looks like? Can you actually
yeah, but he's dressed like a king. He's in the garb.
Oh, okay.
And he would be a larger...
Okay. Now, there's a picture of this gentleman downstairs, but he's not in any
Oh, okay.
attire.
Well, let's take a look at it when we get back down there.
Okay.
Would you remember to point him out? And I'll see if he could fit into the guy I'm seeing in my mind's eye.
Yeah, because there's nowhere else to go.
But this guy
this way.
embodied the role he played. I mean, he was really into it. And if somebody wants his ashes to be in the walls of this castle, you know the man's into it, right?
Oh,
Yeah, because this man was so charismatic. Yeah, I bet that's him. Now, who would the lady be?
I don't know.
Do you know whether he has wife or a special lady that is also deceased?
The lady that I knew, I'm thinking they were married years ago.
Oh yeah, remember outside I said they were married?
Yes.
Yeah, they're married, and I saw
Yep.
two rings,
Two rings.
which means there might have been a second marriage for one or both of them.
I believe the lady that he was with, she is the only dame out of all the ladies. The ladies are ladies, but she is a dame.
And I said dame on my recorder. I called her lady or dame.
She is a dame. Her name's Donna, and she's down here quite often. I think because of the time and the effort that she's put into this place, they actually promoted her to a dame.
Is she
works-
deceased now?
No,
She's still alive.
she is.
Okay, so I wonder if this is her or not. I don't know. I don't know if it's her or not.
That's the only woman that I know of.
Because this is a special love of the man. That spirit is in here.
Okay. I
So-
don't know who that would be then.
I don't know if it's this one, the one that's still alive, is still his special love. I don't know if that's him, but I felt her presence here almost like it was a spirit. So,
Do you think she could have left energy here
maybe.
because of the type of stone?
Yeah, I
That's
called
right.
her the lady in white because her gown would have been light colored.
Okay.
Maybe not white, but light colored. And I felt her energy around the grounds
Okay.
with this man.
I don't know if
So I don't know what the explanation of that is, or how to
Neither.
fit that into the story. You know, that could be him. I'm feeling something when I look at that picture. I feel heart. Lots
He was
of
a
heart.
very nice man.
Big heart.
He really was. I knew him before he passed, and he was very, very
He must have
nice.
been very well liked, I would
Was.
think. Yeah. Yeah, so I bet that's him. Did he?
This door goes to the outside. If you go in, this is the dungeon. It's very nice and cool in here.
Danger, wild man.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Secure.
Did you know that bear personally?
Yeah, I did.
Was he a real emotional guy? I mean, not like drama queen, but very,
Yeah,
You
I
get-
believe he was. You know, if something happened to somebody, he was heartfelt. And,
yeah.
he would
Yeah,
show
I bet
his-
he's the one in here. I'm pretty sure he's in here. I feel his presence here around me right now. I feel like he wants to talk to me. I'm not sure.
I can't, if he's able to tell you what his real name is, I can't think of it. Everybody just called him Bear.
He makes me feel like he's lonely, like he wants more company, or like he really wants somebody to talk to, or something like that. I bet he's quite a talker. He might have a lot of stories to tell. Talkers need listeners.